people ask me all the time, what's like the number one way to save in taxes? And I have the most boring answer, but it is like the most accurate answer. And it's like, keep track of your numbers. Like if you don't know your income and your expenses and every single expense that's coming out of your accounts, there's no way you can either tax plan. You can't get ahead of the taxes. You are likely missing deductions, because if you don't have a system like QuickBooks Online or something like that, that has every transaction you're making, you're not going to over expense stuff. You're going to forget expenses, which you're going to overpay in taxes. So like literally my best advice is like, get a really damn good bookkeeper and don't chintz on it. Like,
yes,
like, I don't know why people don't want to pay for bookkeepers, but like they will make or break your business.
Preach. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. That was one of the first things I outsourced.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping. You know,
For
it's
sure.
good to have another person to check up on what you're putting in there, you know, and make sure that's proper.
When I first started my business, I was like, I do not want to offer bookkeeping. Like all I want to do is tax strategy and save people money in taxes. And I'm like, damn, I can't find a single bookkeeper that is actually good and is not messing up people's stuff. So I literally pulled somebody from retirement. Like she's literally been doing books for 40 years, made her come out of retirement. And I'm like, you need to teach my whole team. And like, now we have the most badass bookkeeping team, but like,
I bet you do. I bet you do.
But it was literally because I was like, I cannot find anyone that I would want to refer my clients to that I would trust. And like, yeah, I could go on and on about bookkeeping, but back to the question, how to save money. So get a bookkeeper, get a really good one. Don't chintz out on them. Don't like outsource them from Fiverr or whatever. Like it's going to be terrible.
Yes, please no.
And then it's like being very strategic every time you use your card, right? I tell my clients, like, I can't be there when you're swiping your personal or business card, which is why I have my course, Write Off Your Life. But what I tell people to think about is like, is there any way you can link what you're buying back to business? And it's not just like, oh, I'm buying printer paper to print out tax returns from my tax firm, right? It can be very like creative, you know, like you might be going to dinner with your mom, but can your mom ever be a client of yours? Sure. That's a prospect meeting, right? So it's like, how can you link it back? You're buying a phone charger because your cord like ripped apart, right? We all have those dangling phone chargers. And it's like, well, do you charge your phone for work? Yes. Put that on your business.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know? So it's really just like thinking every time you swipe your card.
So much good information. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you kind of led right into the next question, which I think is ironic. How do you know? Yes, thank you. How do you know if you have a good bookkeeper?
Oh, I know. I tell my clients, I'm like, you didn't know what you didn't know. It's okay. It honestly, from a client perspective, would be so hard to know.
Right.
But there's a few things you can check, right? Like I know in QuickBooks Online, there's like audit logs. So you can see like how much time each login is spending on your stuff. So one, like see how much time they're spending on it. And then you can go into the reconciliations. That's another one, is like, you want to make sure they're actually reconciling your accounts. Now, what does reconciling mean? So first step of bookkeeping, you want to categorize everything, but then you have to reconcile your balances that are on your balance sheet to your bank statements. That's the only way to know that your books are accurate. And so you can go to your reconciliations in QuickBooks and see, it'll tell you, you know, the last time this has been reconciled is up to April 30th, 2022. And you're like, sweet, I'm up to date. But time and time again, we get new clients and it's like, last time it's been reconciled is 12/31/2019. And you're like, well, dang it.
That's a lot of work.
So So making sure they're reconciling, and then just like big red flags, print your balance sheet. Does it show that your checking account is negative? Like your checking account's probably not negative. It's a big red flag. Or that your credit card accounts are showing negative. That's also probably not true unless you just refunded something very large on your card.
Right.
So there's like big red flags you can look, but really without like someone that knows what they're doing, it would be kind of hard from the client side.
Okay. And in the same breath or similar breath, how do you know if you have a good CPA?
I would say if you have a feeling that you're paying too much in taxes, you probably are. If you have to go to them and say, hey, what about this? What about that? You're probably paying too much in taxes, because they should be coming to you like, hey, what about, I don't see vehicle expenses on your stuff. Right. Even though you're an online entrepreneur, you can still write off your car. Things like that. Communication is also key. Do you send them an email and they don't respond for 2 weeks? Like, that's not cool. In our CRM system that we have, there's a chat feature. So it's live. Like our clients all the time, they're like, hey, I'm at a car dealership, how do I buy the car in the business? And it's like, we just type right back because it's live and everyone has it open on their computer all day. So communication.
It's a giant group chat.
Yeah, literally. Which sometimes gets overused, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I'd rather it be overused than underused. But yeah, you just kind of have a gut feeling, right? Like, Are they communicative? Are they nice? Do they make you feel guilty? That's another big one. It's like prospects will come to us and they're like, my account makes me like feel bad. And it's like, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, yeah, it's your business finances. Like, it's your livelihood. They should be lifting you up and like encouraging you to build wealth and save money in taxes and get organized and like all the things, right? So it's kind of like, I think you'll know.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I would also say, I feel like doing what I do, I see a lot of clients wanting to save as much money as possible. And that's great. But I feel like the one area you should not find the cheapest option is your bookkeeper and your CPA, because you have the ability to have a much higher return on that investment, So it's, if you're not happy, don't let the cost keep you there, because chances are if you find somebody who's better, you're going to save a lot more in the long run,
100%. Like we tell people, like, we are not the cheapest in town, right? For sure. But I can tell you 100% of our clients save more in taxes than what they have ever paid us. So really, we cost nothing, even though you might have to pay us up front. Like 100% of our clients have saved more money.
That's awesome.